Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you're here today because this is one of the most important conversations we can have about your health. We're going to talk about something that affects every single day in every bite we take, but most of us are never truly taught how to understand anything really about our food other than try this diet, try that diet. And honestly, the word diet means you're dying to it. And we don't want to understand food in that way. We want to understand that food should be something that really nourishes your body, nourishes your soul. And why does it affect us one way or the other? And how is it sustaining us so that it doesn't have control over our mind or our body, but yet it nourishes us so we can look at food in a different way. So today's topic is what foods are healing your body and what foods are hurting your body, even when we think they might be good for us or that we're making better choices. Because like I said last week, there is so much noise out there. So why this matters, hold on. Food choices that support your unique body, not just what's trending online or printed on the front of the package. Understanding labeling and packaging is going to make a big difference. And understanding that what's on the front of the package is for marketing purposes only. You really need to get to know the ingredient list, not just the nutrition label, but the actual ingredient list. And I want you to understand also that it is not about perfection by any means. If you were with us over the weekend on our extended family fun weekend, I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to say, I am not perfect. I indulge along with all of everybody else, right? It is the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat what is best for your body. And then in the 20% window, when you do have a night out or you do have a family event where maybe the food choices aren't the best, then it's okay to maybe slip. But do understand that your body will revolt and will give you those cues on what foods were not good for you during that time. And that's why it's understanding how to listen to your body during those times, right? You can understand then which foods did you consume that triggered your body in certain ways. So again, it's not about perfection. It's about direction for your body to help you make better choices on a consistent basis. You don't have to eat flawlessly to heal. You just need to start tipping the scale in favor of healing foods more often than the foods that are going to be hurting you. So the first thing I want you to grasp is food is not just about calories. It's food, it should be for your information. And if you need to start at the calorie level, then that might be your information starting point. For some people, that is where they need to start. And others, maybe not so much. If you're struggling with weight, whether it's losing weight or gaining weight, maybe calories is where you need to start. If you've hit a plateau, maybe calories is where you need to start. That is where your bio-individuality comes into play and where you need to be working with someone that can maybe help you see where that food information needs to land. When you eat something, you're essentially sending your body a set of very specific instructions. And some instructions say, reduce your inflammation, build strong immune cells, balance your hormones. And then other instructions are telling your body, create more inflammation, store fat, trigger an immune overreaction. So this is why two different people, and even identical twins can eat the exact same meal and feel completely different afterwards. Our genetics, our gut microbiome, and our stress levels and our sleep all influence how food interacts with our body. That's why I don't believe in all one size fits all lifestyle and diet plans. Instead, we need a slimmed down, personalized approach where 70% of issues in a group setting can be looked at and figured out as a group, but then 30% of them need to be personalized. And that's where functional nutrition and blood work analysis come in. It allows us to see together what's going on inside your body, but not just on what is on your plate. Okay? So let's talk about some healing foods or strategies first. And when I say healing foods, I mean foods that calm inflammation, that nourish your gut bacteria, that stabilize your blood sugar so that you're not having this roller coaster effect, and that supply essential vitamins and minerals that your cells need to work. These foods are often whole, they're minimally processed, and they're colorful. If you've been following me, you've heard this time and time again. So think vegetables and fruits in every color of the rainbow. Think of clean, high-quality proteins, wild-caught fish, pastured poultry, grass-fed beef, plant-based sources if your gut microbiome tolerates those. Healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, nuts and seeds, and herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, parsley, rosemary. These are just to name a few. And fermented foods, sauerkraut, kefir, unsweetened yogurt, or even home cultured yogurt, and kimchi. These are fermented foods. Right now, if you have a garden, fermenting is, you can ferment just about anything. But I also want you to understand that your healing foods can be very personal. For example, blueberries are a superfood, right? On paper, excuse me. But if you have a certain gut imbalance, you might not tolerate them at this moment until your gut microbiome is balanced out. But that doesn't mean they're a bad fruit. It just means that your body can't tolerate them at this moment. All right? They just aren't good for you right at this minute. If you have an candida or SIBO, you might not be able to tolerate much for fruit or the red fruits. You need to stick to things that are very dark and low in the high sugar content. But that doesn't mean that those are horrible things to eat. It just means they're not good for you at this moment. So there is a good balance of what you need to do to listen to what your body is telling you. You might not digest nightshade vegetables very well. All of these things that you need to listen to what the cues that your body is giving you. Now, if we talk about foods that are hurting you, the ones that make it harder for your body to actually heal, and this list is probably not going to surprise you because you hear it all the time. These are why these things are not good for you, and it's not hard to understand the why. It's foods that spike your blood sugar, which once your blood sugar spikes, it increases inflammation. Foods that damage your gut lining, allowing the toxins to leak in and through your bloodstream. Overloading your liver with chemicals and additives. Foods that cause oxidative stress, kind of like, and this is just a metaphor, this is not what's happening, but thinking of it as rusting from the inside out. Again, it's a metaphor. That is not what's happening, but oxidative stress causes your cells to become overloaded, all right? And that's what happens if you leave metal outside. It becomes oxidized and causes stress and causes that metal to weaken, causing holes. Okay, that's where the metaphor comes in. So common hurting foods include refined sugars and high fructose corn syrup, processed vegetable oils like soybean, corn, and canola oils, highly packaged snacks and fast foods, artificial dyes, flavors, preservatives, and refined bleached white flour products. Wow, if you just stuck on that list alone, you can probably see that that is most of the American diet, right? But here's the sneaky part, you guys. Some foods look healthy, but are hurting you. Things like flavored yogurts are loaded with sugar. Low-fat dressings are filled with chemicals. Energy bars a lot of them have more sugar than a candy bar. And this is why reading labels is so important. Front labels are the marketing, but the truth is in the ingredients list. So important to understand. This is where we need to get more personal because not every healthy food is healing for every person. So to look at some of the labels, and I'm going to use some of the things that I've used in some of the other talks because it's easy. But I want to tell you about an app, and this app does not sponsor me by any means, but there is an app here that you can access. It's a free app, or you can pay for the search one. It's called Yucca, Y-U-K-A. And you can scan, let me go back here to the actual, it's a little carrot. You probably can't see this. Let me see. You can't see it. It's a little carrot. And you can take any barcode that you want and you can scan it. So on the beans, like I've used before, you can open your scanner and scan the code. And here it's a rating from 0 to 100. And the black beans came up to be a 90, which is excellent. If you tap on that, it'll tell you if there's additives and what not, okay? So here is a can of pears. No sugar added sliced pears. You would think this would be pretty good, right? So let me scan this. This came out as poor. And I am sure that I'll show you, came out as poor. Now, if I tap on this, it'll tell me why. It shows it's got additives in it. And then I can go to more information, and it tells me exactly which additives are in there. And it says the additives, and then you can tap on each of those additives, and it'll tell you exactly what the additives are and what they might cause. So that is a helpful app that you can use in your tool chest, even for things that you think you're purchasing that might be better than bad, right? Well, guess what? When you think you're getting something better and it comes up on this app as not good, then down here you can go and it'll give you an alternative that's better. Well, here you'd think no sugar added, this has got to be the better one. But guess what? The one that scores a 90 out of 100 is actually canned in heavy syrup because it doesn't have any additives. So in this case, if you were going to purchase something, it's better to purchase the one that has more sugar because it's actually just the sugar. So that's a case of you think you're doing better, and actually this was more carcinogenic. So anyway, that's an app that I highly recommend. It takes a little getting used to. Once you become a label sleuth, then this just helps advance your detective work. Then another way you can use this is all of us that are gluten-free, we have limited options if we're going to do anything processed. We think that sometimes our gluten-free, and this gluten-free bread is better than just regular bread, but we think we're making a better option. So we scan this, and this particular bread actually comes up as poor because it doesn't have much nutrition in it. So it would be better. Here's some crackers. These crackers actually come up as excellent. So if we were going to have some toast or some crackers, in this case, it would be better if we were to have some crackers. So just different switches like that make a big difference. So why does this matter, these choices that I'm showing you? This is a tool you can put in your tool chest to help you with choosing things that are processed if you are not wanting to eat just fruits, vegetables, meats, okay? So if you are going to eat something canned or something processed, use the Yucca app, scan the barcodes. What are some signs? How do you know if a food is hurting you? You feel bloated, gassy, or sluggish after you eat it. Do you have that energy crash an hour or two after eating a certain food? Are you getting skin breakouts and rashes or headaches after eating? And are you noticing joint pain and flaring up throughout the day? That's some of the things that you can notice related or triggering by food. And then signs of a food that might be healing you is after you eat, you have this steady energy for several hours. Kind of not a spike in energy or this big bolt of energy, but you know that you can keep on going. Kind of like an Energizer bunny, you can just keep going. Your digestion is regular, you're comfortable, you're not feeling like you have this flushing syndrome where you have, irritable bowel. Not that you're all bound up and bloated. Your mood stays balanced throughout the day, and you wake up the next day feeling good and not achy and inflamed or swollen and tight. The most accurate way, though, to know is through functional testing and food sensitivity evaluations. This shows practitioners like myself patterns in your inflammation markers, your liver enzymes, your blood sugar stability, your nutrient levels, all of which reveal how your body is responding to the foods that you're eating. So your blood sugar balance is one of the biggest keys to identifying healing versus hurting foods. When that blood sugar spikes, inflammation usually follows. So here's the very short version, if you haven't ever monitored your blood sugar before. The healing foods keep your blood sugar in kind of a gentle rise and curve, and rise and fall curve, kind of like you're going up and over gentle hills throughout the day. We all should have a rise in our blood sugar, but then it should come down normally and not crash like you're going to the top of a roller coaster and then you're going for the long dive down. Hurting foods cause it to look like that roller coaster where you go up, 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 and then down, crash, and then you crave again. If you have those high ups, those high downs, and then that super tired, and then you're craving, those are blood sugar. Those are blood sugar spikes. Chronic inflammation is that slow, smoldering kind. It's the root of most chronic illnesses in America today. Well, all over, but mostly here in America. And your food choices can either continue to fan and flame that, or you can snuff it out. You can just smother that out by eating better foods or making better choices. And again, keeping to that 80-20 rule. So here's a sample, and I know I hear this a lot. It's people say, I don't have time. I don't have all those fancy recipes. I don't know how to cook that way. And you don't have to. It's very simple, you guys. Make it simple. Make it sustainable. So here's a formula for you. Half the plate, non-starchy vegetables, a colorful variety. A quarter of your plate, protein, some type of protein. It can be a vegetable, it can, or a vegetable type of protein, legume type of protein, or it can be an animal protein. A quarter of the plate, a healthy carb, like sweet potatoes, quinoa, berries, beans, whichever type of carb you like there. And then a healthy fat, 1 to 2 tablespoons of some type of healthy fat, olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. And then use herbs and spices to really kick up the flavor, to bring that satiety, to bring that flavor, to make your mouth, your mind, and your insides feel like they are full, like they have found the best of every flavor there is. So a good way to think of this balance is salmon with roasted Brussels sprouts, a side of quinoa, and a drizzle of olive oil. And then you can spice that up with adding a squeeze of lemon juice and some garlic. Add some thyme or some rosemary, and bring the flavor profile into that. If you do this 80% of the time, your body will thank you. And it's easy. You don't have to spend hours in the kitchen. So just think of healthy fat, fiber, protein, and then a carb, and colorful. If your eyes are happy, your mind is happy, your stomach is happy. So I also want to encourage those of you that share my faith. I want you to remind you that our body is a temple. a temple of the Holy Spirit, and we are called to be good stewards of what God has entrusted to us. So feeding our bodies with healing foods is not about vanity. It's really about vitality. It's about having the energy to do what God has called you to do without being slowed down by what could be and is a preventable illness. And if you're not a person of faith, please consider it and have a conversation with me. This principle of vitality still stands for you as well. Your health is a gift, and how you care for it determines the quality of your life. There's two things that are invaluable. Without health, you don't have life, and your time is the most precious thing besides your health that you'll ever have, and you can't get either one back. So let's do the best thing that we can for our health so that we can reclaim our time. If you've been guessing at what to eat, and if you've tried every diet, which I do not like that word because then you have to die to it every time and still don't feel your best. And if you're ready to stop playing trial and error with your health, then your next step is really simple. Let's find out exactly what your body needs. So I encourage you to look below, and through functional blood work analysis, I'll help you see the hidden markers that reveal which foods are healing for you and which are hurting you. I'll leave you with a clear and personalized roadmap with no more confusion and no more guesswork. So your body is speaking to you every single day, and you get to choose. Will you give it the tools to heal, or will you keep feeding the inflammation? I'd love to walk alongside you in that journey, and I'd love to start with you today. So feel free to book a call with me, go in the comments and sign up for the free newsletter, and click like, share with a friend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.